option.
Do you know, I actually do yoga occasionally.
Do you?
There you go, everybody at home now has this terrible mental image of me doing my down dog.
Down dog. Kia ora koutou katoa, nau mai haere mai. Welcome to Grilled with me, Charlotte Cook. This is RNZ's election series where food meets politics, and today I'm being joined by the leader of the Labour Party, Chris Hipkins.
Here we are. Kia ora.
Welcome to my kitchen, or a kitchen of sorts. Thank you for coming in today. What are you going to be cooking for me?
I'm going to be cooking a lasagna today. It's one of my kids' favourite meals. It's one of the meals that I like to cook because you can get a lot of meals out of one meal. So if you cook a big lasagna on a Sunday night, you can be eating it for a couple of days.
Yeah, good. Okay, we love eating the same meal 3 days in a row. So kids love it. Who taught you how to cook lasagna?
The lasagna actually was just experimenting myself. I kind of went off the recipe on the sides of one of the tins, I think, initially, and then just sort of kept adding things and subtracting things until I got something that I quite like to cook.
Looking at a costing of about $45, $50 for this chunk of stuff here. What do you think of that price?
So these ingredients that we've got here are probably at the more expensive end of what I would pay to put a lasagna together. So typically, I reckon you can do a good lasagna for about $30. I like bargain hunting at Pack and Save. Yeah. Mince is probably the big variable at the moment. The price of meat's definitely gone up, but if you get mince on special, you can still get a reasonable.
What about this one? Bit of a mortgage here.
Yeah, cheese. I mean, I confess I tend to buy the pre-grated stuff, and you're looking at about 12.
What does that say about
I
you?
know you're looking at $12 to $13 for a bag of pre-grated tasty cheese, but it saves time.
So if you think about you're sitting at the dinner table with your family, what kind of conversations were you having around the dinner table?
Mum and Dad, when we were kids, we always, probably until we became in our late teens when we became a bit more difficult to manage, but when we were younger, we always did have a family dinner sitting around the dinner table, and we would talk about our days. And it was a parenting tip that I learned from my own parents that I continue to repeat with my kids, because it's amazing what you get out of your kids just talking over a meal. What was your favourite thing today? You know, who did you play with? What did you learn? You get a lot out of kids, and it also means if something's not quite right, if there's anything they're worried about, you get a sense of that. Yeah. And so, I think dinner time conversations with your kids is really important.
All right, onion in, step one completing.
Yeah. I think that's probably enough onion, so we'll put that over there.
So you live in this strange political world, which to many New Zealanders is just, it's kind of like reality TV, but you make really important decisions. Yeah. What's it like living in that bubble?
Well, I guess you learn your life being on display. So I've always, in my time in politics, tried to draw a pretty clear line between the bits of my life that are on public show and the bits that I try and keep private. So my stuff around my family, I've always tried to keep in the private part of that. So you don't see lots of pictures of my kids on social media, and I don't do those kind of photo shoots with my family and stuff like that. And that's probably something that you've always got to keep an eye on as a politician. But other than that, I accept my life as belongs to the public. A lot of what I do.
It belongs to my cooking show now.
Well, it does belong to your cooking show, but even when I'm in the supermarket, people come up to chat to me in the supermarket to share their views on various things. But actually, people are pretty nice. They're pretty polite. Even the ones who disagree with you generally will at least do that politely. Yeah.
What I'm actually taking from that is that you do your own supermarket shopping?
Always. When I was a university student, I used to merchandise for Quality Bakers. They make Molenbeek and Vogels and all that kind of stuff. So not all the tricks and tips. I
also read somewhere that you were missing a delivery driver once, so then you got your license to learn how to be the delivery driver.
That's right, yeah, because you're always waiting on the truck drivers to deliver, and then I've worked out they got paid more than the people who are merchandising. So I went and got my truck driver's license, and then by then I'd finished my degree and I never went truck driving. But so I have a full articulated truck license. I can drive those big trucks. I
don't want to send you ill wishes, but you might.
It's always good to have options. It's always good to have options.
What do you think is the hardest thing for New Zealanders at the moment?
Definitely cost of living. it's a global phenomena, but every time you go to the supermarket, you see the price of everything going up. And I mean, I go to Pick and Save and I line up at the checkout and I see people carefully counting as things are rung up on the till, and I've seen them putting things back because the bill has just been a little bit too high for them. And the things that they're putting back aren't luxury items; they're often quite basic things that they just can't afford to buy at the moment. And so, that's very real.
Tell me about this, like, long-running shtick with sausage rolls. Are you over it?
It's become a bit of a burden, I have to confess, because I do enjoy a good sausage roll, but now I get sausage rolls almost every day because everywhere I go, people are like, "Oh, look, we made you a sausage roll," and you never want to say no. So I'm eating for my country at this point. I've put on about 5 kilos since I became Prime Minister.
Just one sausage roll.
And I'm sure it's the sausage rolls that are doing it. I also really like pies as well.
Oh, no.
And so just put that on the record so that if people feel like not giving me a sausage roll, a pie is fine.
I just wonder how it must feel to have your legacy, compared to a piece of flaky pastry.
Well, I'm just getting started, so let's not be talking about legacies just yet.
What do you do to rebuild your mental health? How do you keep across your brain, the top 2 inches?
So I think there's a couple of things you have to do. One is you have to find opportunities for a bit of a debrief now and then. So you need to find someone who you can just talk to and just kind of reflect, download. And so it doesn't have to be, you can have like a mentor type person, or you can have just, someone who you trust, who you can just talk to about whatever's happened that day and just reflect on it. And they don't form any judgment, they just ask you lots of questions, and everyone's trying to tell you what to do when you're a politician. So you need someone who's not trying to tell you what to do, who's just going to ask you.
Not a politician.
Yeah, they're just going to listen to you, they're going to ask you lots of questions, and largely just give you the space to think about what's been going on. And so I have that. I've got a couple of people who I can do that with. And I think that's really important. And then also you do need to just find the downtime moments, whether it's going for a bike ride or I love walking on the beach.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, beaches. I always something about being near the sea. Maybe it's the white noise of the sea. Kind of just calms the brain a little bit.
What is your plan B? Will you stay as leader of Labour?
I don't see. The thing is, people ask me that, and I can honestly, hand on heart, say I haven't even thought about it.
Well, apart from the truck driving.
It's like, no sports team goes into the All Blacks don't go into a rugby match thinking about what they'll do if they lose. They go into it 100% focused on winning. And that is exactly what we're doing. And if we don't, then, I'll think about that after the election. But for now, my focus is still 100% winning.
And then you're having your daily chases of sausage roll, when wash it down with a Diet Coke. Are you worried about your health?
Well, I need to get back into exercise. I reckon you can eat whatever you like as long as you exercise. Is that right? That's health advice? No?
I think something about balance. Yeah. But also there's a moment on the lips, a lifetime on the hips is also.
Oh, I haven't heard that phrase for years.
I've been trying to, I'm also a yoga teacher, I've been trying to pitch to come and set up a class for all the politicians.
Do you know, I actually do yoga occasionally.
Do you?
There you go, everybody at home now has this terrible mental image of me doing my down dog.
Down dog.
People are going to be traumatised by this experience.
Well, I am.
Last of the cheese sauce on top. And just spread that out.
And then what do we put more cheese on it?
Yeah, a little bit of grated cheese on top just so that it browns off nicely.
And then what's the cook time on it?
Well, about 25 minutes in the oven, just long enough depends how good the oven is too. Right. Long enough to brown it off at the top.
Well, we'll stare at it like watching paint dry.
Yeah, right.
Okay.
Into the oven.
You good?
Yeah.
Is it going to fit?
Oh gosh, I hope so. Oh, just.
I made, David Seymour and I had to change tact halfway through because the pan that we made his food on didn't fit in the oven. All right.
Who's doing the dishes?
Paper, scissors, rock.
It's all right, I'll do the dishes.
Oh, come on. I hear you're a bit of a scrapper. Don't back down from a scrap.
All right.
Paper, scissors, rock. Paper, scissors, rock. Oh, you're doing the dishes.
So it would seem.
Oh no. No 3rd degree burns?
No, not so far.
Alright. Watch yourself.
Right.
Okay, Okay.
Now comes the tricky bit.
We might need one of these.
Oh, it's...
Ooh.
Yeah, it feels a bit sloppy. Let's see.
I told you, I like a sloppy lasagna. This could come in your favour.
Well, that's good, because you're going to get one. There we go.
I'll bring this to you. There we go. Oh yeah. Look at that.
That's actually not
Oh,
terrible.
See, is that why we don't put the pasta on the bottom?
No, it's just it needed longer in the oven, but we're in a hurry.
We are in a hurry because you have many things to do today.
Here we go.
Thank you very much. Oh, good. Yeah, that's boiling. Oh.
Don't burn yourself. Right.
I'm going to take this one because you want the higher presentation ranking.
Okay.
It looks good.
It's actually all about how it tastes.
Yeah. Substance, right? We don't judge a book by its cover. This is going to give me 3rd-degree burns in my mouth.
Lasagna's always better on the second day as
Yeah,
well.
that's true. Or do you want to come back tomorrow?
I could. I'm quite satisfied with the taste. It's not bad.
Yeah.
You know what it could use?
Some salt and pepper.
Bacon. I reckon lasagna with bacon.
Yeah.
It's good.
I wonder what the Italians have to say about that. Okay, so 5 for appearance,
Yeah.
6.5, maybe 7 for affordability. Get a lot out of this.
Yeah, you
this
do.
is going to feed me for days.
Yeah, good, good.
Taste, give you a 7.5. And X Factor rating. I really liked your methodical approach to spreading the white sauce. It's like
We don't use spreading anymore. We don't talk about spreading anything these days.
Have you recovered?
No, never.
All right, well, delicious. Tuck in.